like the girls that do drugs, girls with cigarettes in the back of the club, girls that hate cops and buy guns. Hey YouTube, ValidGirl5678 here, and it's time for another album review. Today we are going to be talking about this new album from The Dare, What's Wrong with New York? As a New Yorker, I have many answers to that question. This is the debut album from post-hyperpop LES indie sleaze renaissance man DJ The Dare, who had quite the breakout year with the success of his song from 2022, I believe, Girls, which was also on his 2023 EP, the Sex EP, as well as, of course, producing guests off of the Brat Deluxe album, in which he was also included in the lyrics of the track and the music video with Charlie and Billie Eilish. Overall, while what he is doing is frankly nothing unique or special, it is unique and special for our times. I mean, it's a man in a fucking suit. When's the last time you saw that on the daily? It's also special for our times in the sense of where music is at, especially music that men make. In fact, I will go on the record and say that The Dare has been officially added to the list of men that still make music in today's day and age. Now, as I mentioned, this debut LP follows his debut EP, the Sex EP from 2023, and 2 out of the 4 tracks that were on that EP are on this LP. That would, of course, be the breakout track Girls and Good Time. Girls is probably, honestly, one of my favorite songs ever. It is the song. I saw a TikTok that I really agree with that said that it's really cool to hear a song made by and performed by a man where he is loving every single type of woman there is out there, from trans women to women who give it up for Lent, while only sexualizing himself. It's lyrically an amazing track, and it's just very, very of the times in a sort of unassuming way. Good Time is another one of my fave tracks on the album lyrically. Like, while it's simple, I love You Got No Money, I Got No Money, We've Got a Good Time. I love the melody and syncopation. Is it syncopation? I think it's syncopation of the chorus. Syncopation. You know when you say a word so many times it doesn't exist? Ultimately, this song is sort of a modern version of the 2010s Let's Have So Much Fun Tonight Like It's Our Last Night on Earth track, which is very kind of in right now in an ironic, nostalgic sense, most notably on a lot of the lyricism and themes on Brat. There were 2 brand new singles for this album rollout, Perfume and You're Invited. My favorite out of the 2 definitely being Perfume. I just really like the song lyrically and structurally. It's really interesting. You're Invited, I'm not as big of a fan of, as it's honestly kind of annoying. You're invited, you're invited, you're invited, you're invited. But it does kind of work at the same time. It does what it sets out to do. It's lyrically okay, and the instrumental breaks with the guitar are a nice touch. Similarly, the opener for this album, Open Up, is a lot more successful than the closer for this album, You Can Never Go Home. Open Up is a very fitting track to open up this album sonically and thematically. It has those early 2000s rock and roll vibes and maximalist production that really calls to what the rest of the album brings. Although I don't love this track lyrically, but it, similarly to You're Invited, does what it sets out to do. You Can Never Go Home, to me, is not really successful at all as a closer. Like, I feel like something more abrasive and frankly interesting and lyrically smarter was needed to end this honestly mid-album on a high note. Like, there are just moments on the song where I'm just like, what is he saying? What is he doing? I still don't know. The rest of the tracks on here are pretty much a mixed bag. I Destroy Disco is a really cool track lyrically and sonically, production-wise, etc. that seems to call to Calvin Harris's debut LP from 2007, I Created Disco. Calvin Harris is, of course, a DJ that really commercialized and popularized in the mainstream the white man DJ thing as celebrity. And in many ways, The Dare is sort of a modern version of that, but the project that is The Dare is hyper aware and full of irony, very of the times, almost to the point of destroying the concept altogether in practice. And the song seems to be a direct acknowledgement of and reference to that, which is really cool. Like, this is what I wanted from this album. So many great lyrical moments, most notably, what's a blogger to a rocker? What's a rocker to The Dare? That's cunty. And at the end, right before the production sort of breaks down, he says, now let the disco destroy it, which leads into a production breakdown that is, put simply, deconstructed disco sonic stylings. In a very meta way, he is implying that disco destroyed itself, but he is disco and he destroyed itself, which is himself. himself, and it's kind of sick. All Night calls to Calvin Harris a bit more sonically, and again brings up that we're gonna stay up all night and be young forever 2010s millennial sentiment, and it works, but it's just not my favorite track on here. Elevation is the most LCD Sound System knock-off track on this album, which ironically makes it one of the most genuine and least contrived tracks on the album. Like, it is a rare, touching, and emotional moment on this project, but the production gets pretty overblown at the end of the track, and it almost kind of ruins the development of the track for me. I really enjoy the track until the end, when the production is just like, it's too much. Movement is a cool track. It shows some of his most experimental vocal performances on the album, and the production is chaotic but satisfying, similarly to his vocal performances. Both are kind of cathartic. So overall, I liked this album. It somehow simultaneously exceeded and didn't meet my expectations. It's clearly incredibly derivative, but that's kind of the point. And if that wasn't a very big aspect of this album, I'd kind of be like, Mr. Dare, where's the irony? Where's the postmodernism, Mr. Postmodern Prince? Obviously, it's a pretty short LP, but it is his debut, and I can definitely see that he kind of tried to scramble to get it together and out into the world before he, God forbid, left the conversation after the success of Girls. I'm excited to see where he goes from here as one of the only straight men making music right now. And I mean, welcome back, George Harrison. 6. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe, and remember to hit that like button. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Spotify, all linked below. Make sure you're keeping up with my Song of the Week series that comes out every Saturday or Sunday if I'm lazy on YouTube Shorts. Stay happy, healthy, and safe, and I will see you in my next video. I like the girls that got a bone to pick with me. He's not even British.